Don't disrespect my skills. Look, just because a man is a man and he's in boxing doesn't mean that they can beat me.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
She's gonna kick your ass.
And I mean, I drop men. I bust men nose. I beat men up all the time.
I think every fighter in the world, whether you're a man, woman, whatever, you should respect the things that she's done.
Yes. Oh.
You think I got a problem with getting dropped? It's boxing. It happens. I done been hit so hard, I done seen stars.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was 5'8", 28-year-old Claressa Maria Shields. This woman has a professional boxing record of 14-0 with 2 knockouts. And for those who don't know, she also competed in MMA where she has a record of 1-1. Now, there's no question that Claressa Shields is a hell of a fighter, hell of a talent. Would I say she's the GOAT? No. I believe Laila Ali is the GOAT of women boxing. But this woman does has talent, and I agree that she can possibly knock a male out. A male that has no professional fighting background or anything, an average you and me walking on the street, yes, I believe that she has the potential to knock us out. But she's trying to call out Keith Thurman.
I think I can beat up Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman is 30-1. Keith Thurman has 22 knockouts in his career.
And the one loss that this man has is to Manny Pacquiao. Just think about that. She's calling out a professional boxer whose one loss is to Manny Pacquiao.
And the reason why he made news is because he shocked boxing fans by accepting a challenge called out by the extraordinary female boxer that is Claressa Shields.
It's not the first time she said it.
If you've seen Claressa Shields fight, you know what I'm talking about. The sister can box.
You know, we're not supposed to call girls in this generation. I don't know what we're supposed to do, you know. So I'm not going to say that she hits like a girl. Let's just say that she hits like her genetic predisposition, bro. Like,
she will kick your ass.
They always say, oh, you know, a woman can't beat a man. I spar with men.
You cannot fight a man. I don't give a fuck if he's gay. I don't give a fuck if he's sassy. I don't give a fuck if he's the new bad bitch, okay? You can't fight a man. You can't.
When I was an undefeated champion, she still said the same thing. And I didn't really hear much about it. All that happened was I got a text message from a homie back in Florida.
And if you do, you gonna get your ass whooped, okay? On unique occasions, a woman can throw hands with a man and hang with him, okay? However, on most occasions, that is very much not the case. I don't give a fuck how weak he is, how small he is. Okay, it's not the case.
Now, if you watched up to this point and you're liking this video, consider hitting that subscribe button and smashing that like button. Now let's continue.
Hey man, Claressa Shields calling you out on Twitter again. You know, LOL. And I'm like, you know, it's fight night. Like, I'm here for the big fight. I don't really care about what this chick got to say.
Claressa Shields is no joke.
One of the last people I talked to happens to be a female reporter. And she so happened to ask the question. She said, hey, Thurman, are you aware that on Twitter this morning, Claressa Shields called you out? You know, I'm going to stay politically correct. I'm not just going to dismiss it, though I could. But you know what? In my brain, I said, how could this really manifest? Women don't even do 3-minute rounds, bro. Then she had the audacity to say, I spar men.
I spar men daily, and that's the truth. Especially in boxing, I'll spar some of the names who you guys know right now. Anthony Durrell, Andre Durrell, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis.
There you go. There you go. God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
And she puts this video of her sparring some kids that look like they just walked into my boxing club. They look like the softest amateurs I've ever seen. And she hits this boy with an overhand right. She's in the corner. She hits him with the overhand right.
no, and he ate it like some Lucky Charms, man. Didn't take one step back. Her homegirl filming the whole thing was like, great right hand.
Good right hand.
Now, again, I could understand that she has the potential to knock a guy out, has the potential to beat up a guy who has no kind of fighting background. I can give you that. But when you're calling out professional boxers who one can say are in their prime, or even if they're not in their prime, if they're on the tail end of their career, I think that that's a recipe for disaster. I mean, we already saw that this woman was knocked out in a sparring contest with a guy who one could say was a local talent or a jobber, but that individual had some kind of boxing background. So he obviously knew what he was doing in the ring.
That's why I said the people would have to show interest, because I don't bear interest, you know. The people would have to show interest, and we would have to turn this into something positive when it comes to helping out some charities.
Thurman, what I would say to you is that, my brother, it's a no-win situation. Unless you're gonna go in there and let her punch you without you punching her at all, without you trying to win at all, without you competing, you just want to be a punching bag. Unless that's what you talk about doing, you're going to hit her and have women groups complaining about how you hit a woman.
Really?
I really do. I think I can beat up Keith Thurman, even though, you know, they like, oh, you know, he beat Sean Porter.
One can argue Layla Ali is the greatest woman fighter on the planet. One can argue that she's the GOAT. And you know what she had to say when it came to talking about boxing or fighting men? Here's what this woman had to say.
Yo, this is my question I want to ask you, though. You ever be watching some of the lightweight boxers and whatnot, and you say, you know what, I can whoop his ass. I think I can whoop his ass.
You know what, I don't even say it because it's just a given.
It's a given.
You don't need to say it, yeah. But look, the thing is that most men, even if they're smaller than a woman, are always going to be stronger than a woman. So I'm not one of these women that walks around thinking that she can beat a man up. Because the thing is I can definitely knock a man out. But if he hits me first, it hits me hard, he'll knock me out.
Right.
So that's the thing. It's like, you know, a woman cannot take as much as me, even though I'm a heavy-handed woman. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I get caught, I get caught. So yeah, I really don't fool around trying to think I can beat men up.
I think it could be Sean Porter too. You know, skill-wise and just strength-wise. I think that they may be stronger than me, but their boxing ability isn't like mine.
When you talk about fighting Keith Thurman or Showtime Sean Porter,
Right.
There's a lot that goes into it. And it's one of those things that, you know, things are easier said than done. Whatever top boxer she's been in the ring with, I'm sure that top boxer was, you know, took his foot off the gas pedal.
I do have some power. I'm not going to say I'm stronger than them, but if I set up the right shot with the right timing.
There's a reason why they separate women and men's sports. Look at Leah Thomas, for example. Look at the significant gap that this individual had when competing in a tournament against women. Now, there was tournaments where this individual lost, and there was other tournaments where this individual didn't win by such a huge gap. But in my heart of hearts, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that this individual allowed themselves to lose, and in the other case, they purposely let off the gas to not show such a big discrepancy. Because let's face it, people were mad about the exploitation in their eyes that they believe was going on. But that's in the sport of swimming, right? Now, basketball, I can believe that on one-on-one, a woman can beat a guy because that predicates on making a shot. So yes, strength and speed can all play into it, but if we're playing one-on-one and if I score, I continue to get the ball, and all I gotta do is stay on the perimeter and just knock down shots. If I'm on fire that day, or if a woman is on fire that day, guess what? They could take that male out and best them. So basketball, it is what it is. Even in the sport of tennis, Serena Williams, who one can say is the GOAT of tennis, and we all know how strong she is, when it came to playing against her contemporaries, those that actually play tennis and compete in the sport, this is what she had to say.
Andy Murray, he was been joking about myself and him playing a match. And I'm like, Andy, seriously, like, are you kidding me? Men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost two separate sports. If I were to play Andy Murray, I would lose 6-0, 6-0. The men are a lot faster. They serve harder, they hit hard. It's just a different game.
And those who are tennis enthusiasts, please miss me with the battle of the sexes between Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. Billie Jean King was 29 years old in her prime. We're talking peak condition. And she played a retired, out of shape Bobby Riggs, who was 55 years old and played marginal games. And with all of those things working in her favor, she was able to beat him in straight sets.
Claressa Shields in the ring with the fighter at her weight class, at her same level, and she's gonna be outmatched. From the physical standpoint, I think that is an animal that she's not really prepared for.
I gotta ask, would you ever consider doing like a 3-round exhibition with the Claressa Shields, or is that something you would never even consider?
I honestly wouldn't consider that. I don't think that I don't have anything to prove.
So if Layla Ali can say
most men, even if they're smaller than a woman, are always going to be stronger than a woman. So I'm not one of these women that walks around thinking that she can beat a man up.
what makes this woman think that she should take it upon herself to call out Keith Thurman, which Keith Thurman agreed to, and think she's going to win? Now, I understand. You can have all the confidence in your world. Nobody walks into a situation and say, yo, I'm gonna lose. But when it comes to combat sports and women win against men, the only time that the results come out the victor for the woman is if the woman is fighting somebody who has no kind of professional background, no fighting background whatsoever, and they actually compete against that woman who's in a combat sport, who's trained. Then that's when the woman comes out the victor. But you got a lot of scenarios where you have women who are going toe-to-toe against men who are in the same sport, and it looked like the woman is giving up. It looked like the woman want no parts. There's times where you can see the woman getting hit, and it's like she's on Dream Street. She's on autopilot, because the impact of the punches or the blows that she's receiving is just a recipe for disaster, ladies and gentlemen. You could just look and see that she's on Dream Street and she wants no parts. And here's the issue with all of this rhetoric about women can beat men, which we all know biologically, men are faster, men are stronger, men have more bone density, the whole nine. If we keep treading this line of thinking women are superior in that department, what's gonna happen is you're gonna find a lot of situations where people are doing this.
Yo, why y'all doing all of that? Yo, that's a female. That's a female. That's a female.
That thought process, that sense of humanity, that identifying that women are delicate will go out the window. So yeah, it sounds good and it sounds women empowering now, but I believe that that's a recipe for disaster. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, women, you don't understand how powerful your feminine side is. You don't understand how you tapping into your feminine energy can completely disarm a man. Completely. You don't understand how a man who's mad in a fit of rage, your feminine energy can completely disarm that man, where all that rage, that temperament goes completely out the window. That's where we differ, and women don't even realize that that's more powerful than any gun, than any war missile, anything on this planet. Your feminine energy can disarm any man. And it's sad that women think that being more like men and being masculine is the way to defeat a man. But hey, you heard my talk, but don't call it locker room talk. And I want to hear your talk in the comment section. And if you want to hear our talk on if LeBron James is still a top 5 player in the league right now, click this card right here.
You done insulted me, and I got to kick your ass right now. Oh, you want to fight? You want to fight? Sit down. Next time you fight somebody, pick on somebody your own side. Hey, that's that locker room talk right there.
This was Locker Room Talk.
Hey, that's that locker room talk right there.
This was Locker Room Talk.